I underestimated how big the keyboard and mouse community is on Call of Duty. 4,500 views on my aim guide. 238 likes on the video. But the issue with my previous video is that you require Kovacs, which costs money. So here's the free version to improve your aim. Aimlabs. It's free on Steam. Even console players on Xbox can use this guide to improve their aim. So once you're on Aimlabs, guys, go to custom, go to workshop, click on playlist on the left, and type BO6, like all my playlists right here. Called player 33, favorite, like. I will also link my Steam account for the people on PC so that you can go on my profile here and click on the one that you want and then subscribe to it. Of course, like it, give it an award, drop a comment. Dude, you are amazing. Without you, I would be trash. And while I'm on this page, you guys might realize this dude has 1600 hours on Kovacs. What's wrong with this guy? Well, I used to aim train a lot. I'm talking 2020. There's something you guys need to know. My scores back then were considered very good at the time. As a matter of fact, the scores back then, which don't exist on the Kovacs leaderboards anymore because they got reset, were miles better than what I'm at right now. However, my aim in game is miles better than back then. So how is it possible that my aim training scores were way ahead of me now, but my aim in Call of Duty is way better? Well, that's because scores are not one-to-one with how good you are in game. Just because someone has, for example, double your score in some type of scenario or in all scenarios doesn't mean that they are double as good as you in game with their aim. And I wanted to make this clear to you guys so that you don't put yourself down or put yourself above other people in terms of having better aim. Aim training is a supplement to your training in the game itself. I've done 1v1 wages back in the day against really good controller players. Some I won, some I lost. So I knew what it was like to play against a top tier player in COD. Well, one day I met this guy who absolutely schooled me. He was a mouse and keyboard player. You guys might say, well, yeah, there's also game sense though. Guys, I'm not talking about game sense. These 1v1s against this mouse and keyboard guy, I could slide around the corner and he would perfectly track me. In aim trainers, however, I was miles better than him. I just wanted to tell you guys this so that you understand that just because you're gonna have way better scores than other people doesn't mean that you're gonna be better than them in game. I used to have an ego based on my scores back in 2020, and I don't want you guys to make the same mistake. So guys, huge shout out to Voltaic. I'm not affiliated with them, but it's crazy how cool of a system they've built at this point in order to improve yourself. So why is this guide gonna be way better than my other video? Because it's clean. Look at this, guys. From Voltaic, the novice section, the intermediate section, the advanced section, everything is gonna be automatically tracked while playing Aimlabs. You don't have to manually make up the document anymore. When you scroll down right here, you can even see like your overall data. Guys, I'm gonna start training too. I noticed the hype around it. I got so many views on the last video. I'm gonna start aim training again too. Let's get better together. So guys, huge shout out to Voltaic. Without them, this epic stuff wouldn't exist and this stuff wouldn't be as motivational to help you get better as it is now. Just watch this, for example, guys. Top leaderboards, click on it. You see the leaderboards of the highest ranked people who do a lot of aim training. Look at how epic this is, guys. You can be up in these ranks one day if you keep practicing. So how does this work, guys? Go to app.voltaic.gg. I will also link it in the description if you can't type it out. Click on sign in after you make a profile. Obviously, you're gonna have to sign up. Once you made your account, guys, top right into settings. Look at this. Link your Discord, link your Aimlabs account. And now every time you play a scenario, it's gonna update if you press refresh or if you select refresh every 60 seconds, for example, so that it refreshes as you're playing the game. So guys, which scenarios are part of my routines? Well, we got an advanced routine, an intermediate, and a novice routine. Obviously, based on the level that you get here, you're gonna improve. Well, the first two scenarios that are gonna come up in the routine are VT quad shot and VT wide shot. So why do we have these static clicking scenarios in a game like COD where everyone's always target switching, right? Well, let me tell you, I used to be extremely good at target switching. For the standards of today, maybe not. But I'm sure someone like Viscos would remember me if you would mention Inova. So what I found was that I got extremely good at that. I'm nowhere close to those scores now. And I would go in game in a competitive setting. I may be over-exaggerating a little bit with how trash I was. But what I believe now to be extremely useful in order to get good at flicks, accurate flicks, is static training. You're literally doing the flicks, just not the tracking afterwards. Instead of practicing the tracking that you have to do after the flicks in target switching scenarios, I'm instead a huge proponent of doing tracking scenarios separately. So back in 2020 or 2021, When I switched up my routine from target switching to static clicking and tracking separately, I finally started to see the results in terms of my scores in aim trainers result in, for example, smoother tracking in game, more accurate reactive tracking in game. And I'm telling you guys, when you play ranked, you're generally not flicking. And when you do flick in ranked competitive, it is gonna be a flick followed by some pretty complex tracking with the movement nowadays in Call of Duty. You might not agree with my method, but that's how I'm gonna improve myself. That's right, I'm gonna start aim training as well daily. Let's see where we go. So the next scenario you're gonna see in the playlist is gonna be VT Pop Shot. This is a dynamic clicking scenario. You basically flick towards a moving dot, track it ever so slightly as short as possible and click on it. Now this is literally what shooting pistols is like, or sniping. If you want to snipe as accurately and consistently as possible, you want to track the enemy as you're scoping in, be tracking the enemy, and then at the end you might have to make a final adjustment with a flick. But a lot of times you don't have to make a final adjustment. You are tracking them as you're scoping in. That's exactly what you gotta do in Pop Shot. So an extremely essential scenario for both pistols and sniping, in my opinion. That doesn't mean that you have to track every single dot in the scenario. Sometimes you will be able to just intercept the target and click so that you can move on to the next targets. But overall, super quick tracking, click on it, next one. And so the last 4 scenarios, they're tracking scenarios, reactive tracking and control scenarios. Why no precise scenarios? Well, in my opinion, the tracking in Warzone is super easy. Perhaps if you still find it difficult to track people out of the sky, then these are amazing scenarios to get better at. This is why the sheet is great. If you do want to improve at some other things, do them. Tracking is super important in Call of Duty nowadays. You have Warzone and you also have multiplayer with decently high health compared to previous CODs. The movement is super dodgy, so you want that smoothness as much as you can have, but especially the reactivity is important in COD. Because a lot of motions, drop shotting, strafing left to right, someone all of a sudden sliding, their movements with a lot of acceleration all of a sudden. Reactivity is key for that. All these scenarios are useful because some of them train reactivity on a horizontal plane, but a lot of them do both horizontal and vertical. The reason this is useful is because sometimes people jump in an arc of a building. Sometimes people run up the stairs and you want to be able to track them as they're going up. Sometimes people go down the stairs. You guys understand my point. So why don't we play any of these target switching scenarios? Well, I just don't think it's an efficient spendation of your time if you want to be as good as possible on COD. Will they help you become extremely flashy on COD? Yes. Let me tell you though, if you become super good at static to the point that you are like Astra, Nova rank, there is no way that you're gonna be trash at target switching at that point. Static is super similar and we will have also practiced our tracking. Also, the dynamic clicking scenario that's part of this routine is pretty similar to target switching actually. Think about it, you get on target, super slight bit of tracking and you instantly have to move to the next one. And they are dynamic targets just like in target switching. So guys, once you get gold on all the scenarios of my playlist, you move over to intermediate and then you go again. You go for master now, let's go. Just keep progressing until you're the best of the best. And as I said, don't just grind this all day trying to get the highest scores possible. Your scores on Aimlabs are not one-to-one with your aim in game. I'll just say it one last time. So why am I excited to all of a sudden start aim training again? Well, because you guys are excited about my content and that makes me excited to be better, to show better content towards you guys. Like, look at these earnings. I'm telling you, I've always been the most fanatic person possible in terms of trying to compete with controller on COD. But I didn't know there's this many of you guys who have the same kind of mindset, who find that fun to do. I'm earning money from talking about freaking aiming and playing a video game. Like, what is happening? So guys, make sure you subscribe. We're gonna be solo queuing to Iridescent on stream daily when ranked comes out in Black Ops 6. Let's see where you guys are gonna rank in the ranked season, man. Maybe there's gonna be a lot of people who reach Iridescent this year on mouse and keyboard. If you want to talk about your progress with aim training, join my Discord. It's linked in the description. I'm not kidding. I will aim train an hour a day, guys. If you want to keep up with me, you better be training a lot too, because when I really start trying, I'm gonna get up the ranks, guys. Like, guys, I don't know if it's gonna be difficult for me, but I'm gonna push for top 50. Like, come on, man. Where do you guys think you're gonna place? I'm sure some of you guys might actually be in the top 50 already. I mean, I don't know who's watching my video. Maybe Matty is watching this video. I don't know. VT Matty? Probably not. He doesn't play COD, but see you guys in the next video, man. Let's get it.